Welcome back, everyone. Elizabeth.
Yes,
have
Kevin.
you ever experienced deja vu?
Yeah.
You know, like you've done something before.
You feel like you're in a situation that's already happened before.
I know it's happened to me.
Yeah, it's such a weird thing. A TCL viewer went to our Facebook page to ask our psychic and medium, Jodi Livon, if there is a deeper meaning to deja vu. I've always wondered this. I've never asked Jodi this.
I believe this.
Yeah, so Jodi is here to answer that and more questions about the unexplained. Hi, Jodi.
Hi.
So Christy was the one who went on our Facebook page and says, why does one feel deja vu? So in your experience, Jodi, what is deja vu and what does it mean?
Deja vu means this has happened before.
Weird.
So you have sensed it before, you maybe have dreamt it before, but you definitely have sensed it on some level. I believe it's a way for our spirit to say, hey, this is important. This is like a big highlight. Put a big circle around this moment.
Seriously?
But is this like I've been, because I notice surroundings, like, oh, I've been here before. Is this like a reincarnation thing, or is it our spirit telling us this is important?
It can be both. It can be it's definitely this is important. Definitely, and you can relax. You don't have to worry one single bit that you're going to do something wrong. You're going to do just perfectly. Just perfectly. If it's a past life thing, it'll keep hitting you and hitting you and hitting you.
But if I could follow up.
Please do.
If it doesn't, if this is important, but it seems to happen sometimes when you're just doing nothing.
That's the best time, because it's never really nothing. Everything you do is important. It really is a way to say, pay attention, my spirit says this has happened before, and there could be that it has happened before in another life, but the reason you're feeling it in this one, which is the most important life, is the one you're living right now.
Yeah, agreed.
It's because you have an opportunity to love people deeper, to forgive more, and to have more joy.
So what should we do, Jodi, then? Should we write it down and like refer back to it? Because sometimes you say to do that with dreams, to kind of think about that stuff.
So here's the cool thing about deja vu. No matter what you do, you're doing it right. So you can remember it if you want, but you're not walking around thinking, I remember when I walked into the market and this happened. You don't remember it at all until it happens. And then you're like, oh my God, this has happened before.
Interesting.
And so you just make a mark in your life, like this was an important moment.
Look at that,
You know,
Jodi.
usually when I'm with my best friend, my wife Teresa, and I go, Teresa, I just experienced, I've done this before. And she's told me the same thing. And it's just like, I don't.
It means you're on the right track.
That's very reassuring. Okay, we have more questions for Jodi. You ready, Kevin?
Yeah,
you can talk to her after the show. You're here all
journalistic.
Okay, we have a question from our live studio audience. So, Mikey, who do you have with you?
I have Susan. She's from Becker. Susan, what's your question for Jodi?
I've always wondered if in a reading and you're coming across a person that you've either had to skip over them because it's such a negative, or even gotten in the middle of a reading, what have you, and had to back out of it or filter it because what was coming through to you was not pleasant.
Boy, that's a great question, Susan.
So everything that comes through to me really is pleasant. I do so much work before I do a reading that only positive things can come through. If it's something that's happened to somebody that wasn't very great before, it's still presented to me in a kinder way. I have had to say things in a little different way than maybe the spirit that's talking to me is saying to say it. Not something like, it's your fault I died.
Oh yeah, that would be bossy and not nice to say.
Right, but if it was a, God forbid, a car accident and this person was driving and they feel terrible, the person's just saying, I know you think it's your fault, but it's not. And that's what they're saying. So I'm careful how I say things. I say everything. Negative spirits cannot come to me during a reading. I'm experienced and I keep them out. They have no interest in me. I have too much light.
Look at that, Jodi. Okay, one more question. So Kay asked us, do you think our pets can sense a spirit force in a room? My dog will look up the stairs, ears perked, I see his nose sniff, and then his eyes dart around the room as if he's watching something move about, but I see nothing. It's strange. All right, Jodi.
The dog is watching a spirit.
I do.
Yeah.
You bet that dog is watching a spirit, and babies can see him too. Absolutely, they're watching a spirit. And they can tell you by their reaction if it's someone they recognize. So if they're like wagging their tail, that means it's your grandma coming to visit that was just there 6 months before she died.
Whoa.
But if they have more of a, you can tell, like their hair stands up, it's a spirit that doesn't feel friendly to them. It's wonderful.
My dog has blocked the door. I mean, not just, but I mean, like, it's like, it just happened recently, and Teresa said, I don't think he wants us to leave.
What's going on
Did
there?
you leave?
Yeah, and
did
everything was
anything-
fine, but believe me, we walked out the door thinking, okay, be careful. Or
So it could be, it sounds like your dog is very perceptive. It was a timing issue. You were supposed to wait. The other thing is the dogs have needs and they're trying to talk to you. Your
Right.
dog was trying to say to you, pay attention to me. I'm equal to you. But
He's
you know,
part of our family.
He is part of your family, but it could have been a timing thing. That was the first thing that came to me as a timing thing. You wanted you to just wait. Animals are very perceptive.
What about the baby thing? So I've heard this from people who have said, oh, you know, we've talked about like a family member that passed away, and then the little tiny child will say, oh, I know, she came and read to me, or something like that. Do you hear this a lot?
Spirits will tell me that during readings. If they read to them, they play with them. Have you ever seen a baby just burst out laughing and look like they're watching somebody? They are. It's your grandpa. It's your dad. It's somebody on the other side, and it's wonderful. And again, babies are very protected. So it's usually a really wonderful spirit that's playing with them, and they don't understand why you can't see them. Because of the spirit. They don't understand why you're not interacting with the spirit, but they can see them just like we can see each other.
Okay, count the spirits that you're seeing right now, Jodi. I mean,
18.
What? 18. See why she's interesting to ask. Anybody that I know? Anybody that Kevin knows?
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Oh, wow.
I
I have
know.
so many more questions.
I know, Kevin. You can ask her after the show. Isn't that so convenient? So, Jodi, thank you so much.
you so
Love
much.
having
It
you
was
answer
great.
those questions. Look how beautiful this is. Jodi's work was recently published in International Kindred Spirit magazine. We've posted a link with those details on our website. It is twincitieslive.com. Let us know